Jake here for American Trucks, and today I'm taking a look at the console safe half box with the tray fitting 2021 and newer F-150s equipped with the flow-through center console. If you've got valuables to protect but you don't want to give up all of your storage space, then this is going to be a great solution for you. This safe is going to keep things locked away and hidden without having to sacrifice the entirety of your center console, and provides quite a bit of security on its own right too. Stash your stuff away and have some extra confidence no matter where you are headed. While most console safes are going to fill up your entire console, or they're going to have to fit somewhere else in the truck, this one is designed to only take up half of the inside of your console. And it's a true half, not half plus a little bit more. Now, I'm sure we all have things that you just toss into the console that you aren't as concerned about, so you still have access to that space, but you also get the benefits of having an additional lockable storage space in the form of this safe. Now, this is constructed from a heavy-duty steel, and it features a pry-resistant door and a 3-point locking system. So suffice it to say, it's pretty solid. And again, you've got two options to lock and unlock it, either a 3-digit roller pin setup or the included key. So should you be forgetful like I am and not remember that pin number off the top of your head, since we all have so many nowadays, you've got another way in that doesn't require destroying your console or the safe itself. So this is going to give you a really solid and secure place to put any valuables like a wallet, documents, whatever you can fit in there, whatever you might need to take along with you and keep out of the sight of prying eyes. Now, included in the kit too is a small tray for the other side of the console too, so you get some additional storage solution for those smaller items too. And this mounts very stealthily as well, so you can easily close the lid of your center console. Nobody is going to be the wiser that you even have it installed. The body of the safe is all constructed from heavy-duty 12-gauge steel, and it's finished off in black, so it's going to look pretty much like it could have come as a factory option. That lock mechanism that we were talking about earlier is solid. You've got that pry-resistant door as well, plus again, 2 different ways to get into it without having to destroy it. And that mounting is secure and easy thanks to the provided tamper-resistant hardware. We'll talk more about that one in a minute. Coming in at about $400, it's not the least expensive solution out there, but for the peace of mind and the added security that it gives you, I would say it's definitely worth the price of entry. So if you're looking for that, if you need a little bit of extra really secure storage space, be it for a personal or even a work vehicle, this is going to be a great option for you that's not going to entirely take up your center console. Installation is going to get a 1 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and it should only take you about 30 minutes to get this done. Now, this doesn't require you to make any other modifications or do any drilling, and it's going to mount using the factory mounting locations inside of your console. So again, something you can easily accomplish at home. And to show you that process now, let's go ahead and throw it over to one of our AT customers.
Tools that you're going to need. You will need either a T20 star drive screwdriver or the appropriate sized T20 star drive bit. For the screws, the screws, the self-tapping screws are 3/8 socket, so you'll need a 3/8 socket. Socket extension will make your life much easier, and then some kind of drill, or in this case we used a drill driver. One of the impact drivers made the drilling slightly easier. So first step, we're going to open center console, remove the center console tray and the rubber mat in the bottom of the center console. There is an underside cover to the center console right here. That needs to be removed to make room to insert and install the safe. There is a screw right here with the T20 star head. That needs to be removed in order to remove this cover. There is only one screw, as you can see there, and then you just gently pull up on this and it pops out. Don't try to remove all of it. There are tabs on either side here that hold the console closed. You push the button in, and then you can take that driver, and all you have to do is push in on those tabs on either side, and it will allow you to completely remove this cover. That cover comes off. giving you enough room to install the safe. Okay, putting this in can be a little bit difficult. You start on the passenger side, insert the safe into the console, and then there is a lip that you have to overcome in order to be able to get the console in. And then once that's done, the console will fit. There is no other way to get the console in, or safe into the console, without coming in from the passenger side and down. And that's why you have to take the cover off. Once the safe is placed, take your drill and your extension and the pre-supplied self-tapping screws and screw in place in all 3 spots. Now the safe is securely in place, it is bolted down, and you can reinstall your console lid cover. After putting your screws in to hold the safe in place, the little rubber base plate, little rubber floor mat, if you will, for the safe can be installed in the safe. So, and safe's able to be closed. The cover for the console get reinstalled. It pops back in place. Super simple. And then there was a singular screw with your T20 that secures to the console. On all of these, whether it be this T20, whether it be the screws holding the safe in place, be sure not to over tighten, over torque, and strip them out. But now you are all set. There was a rubber floor or rubber base pad for the console originally. There should be enough room to be able to put that in place. We opted not to, so that it didn't get all bound up when installing the screws. We didn't have much of a use for it in there anyway, but you should be able to still be able to utilize that if you were so inclined. And with this safe installed, there still is plenty of room for the little factory tray that goes in place, and it will allow you to close the console and still use the console while having a secure place for belongings, etc. The nice thing about the way this safe installs, because you have to take this console cover off, and it was very, very tight getting this in place, even if somebody were to try to tug on it, pry it out, try to rip it out of the console, even though it's only 3 screws holding it in place, the fact that this opening is very, very small, and the fact that you have to take the bottom of the console lid off in order to get this out would make it very, very difficult to steal. Now, in the instructions, there are instructions on how to set your own combination. The way that you end up doing that is with the combination set. When it comes set all zeros. You would lock the knob to lock the safe. There is a set button here. You can push that set button in. You can adjust the combination to a new number, and then now the safe will open to your new number. Notice when I set it back to all zeros, it doesn't open anymore. With the key, you have a key that it comes with. That key would allow you to override the lock and open it. The other thing that the key allows you to do is it allows you to recover a lost combination. So remember, I have the combination set to 100, and it is now not set to that. Without the key in, it is locked. What you can do is when you insert the key, you can turn these, or try to turn these until they move. Well, this just moved to 1 and locked in place. You just recovered the combination. So to give you a better idea, we're gonna go ahead and let's set this combination to say 1, 2, 3. Remember, push the button in with it in the lock position, and that sets your new combination. Now, let's say for the sake of argument, we locked this and we forgot what the combination was. You take the key, insert the key, and you can either completely bypass the lock by turning the key and opening it, Or, again, to find that lost combination, remember it was 1, 2, 3, with the key overriding the lock like it is, you slowly turn the numbers until it locks. I can't turn it anymore. It's now at 1. I would do that again on the next one, and now it locks on 2. You turn it again. This now locks on 3. This is now telling me that 1, 2, 3 is our combination. You'll notice that it will unlock to 1, 2, 3. So now I've recovered my lost combination, and with it set to our combination, dial on the lock position, I can push our set knob in and I can reset it to whatever new combination I wanted. I'll set it back to all zeros, the way that it comes from the factory, and you now have the ability to reprogram your lock without the need to call a locksmith or do anything too elaborate. The system only comes with one key. My recommendation would be to go see a locksmith and get an extra copy of the key made. Obviously, you wouldn't want to keep this key in the vehicle. This key would allow a thief to be able to bypass the lock completely. But overall, seems to be fairly well constructed. It is a very sturdy, thick metal, and there should be more than enough room in there for a bunch of belongings. It's designed that you can put, we can probably put 2 full-size firearms in there, money, maybe some medication, whatever you want to keep safe. And the nice thing is you still have the ability to use your factory safe. You'll notice down there, it does not cover up the USB ports and different things for your sync system in your Ford, and does still allow for your factory tray to be used, and you can put the tray in either way you want, whether you want the change on this side or that side, etc. But that's the thing. All in all, with reading the instructions and setting everything up, the entire process probably takes under 30 minutes for somebody with very little skill. The most frustrating part was figuring out how to get the safe into the console. Remember, you'll come in from the passenger side, bottom end first, and then set it in place. Remember, when this opens, the lid to the safe opens in the same direction that your console lid opens. So make sure you put it in that way. You'll see on the safe that it is slightly angled in the way that it's cut. This corner here is cut to allow the console to still close. But once you've done it and everything's all set to go, your console still works fine. If you have the ability to have the fold flat table in your F-150, that also still works, doesn't affect anything, and gives you a nice, safe place to store your belongings.
That's going to wrap it up here for our review and install of the Console Safe half box with tray fitting 2021 and newer F-150s with the flow-through center console. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, for all things F-150, be sure to keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.